Hello and welcome. I'm so excited to finally share my complete fountain pen collection. I've already shown my boyfriend's, which I'll link to below. I could share his collection again here since I consider it an expansion pack of sorts to my own, but 44 pens are quite enough to get through in one video. Thank you. My first fountain pen was a Pilot Metropolitan that I purchased off Amazon in 2017, and I hated it. I did not like how scratchy it felt compared to a gel pen. I knew nothing about fountain pens, so the idea that a fine nib was a poor choice was totally beyond me. But after trying it again in 2023, I now have it inked up indefinitely with platinum carbon black, and I use it every day. It was at this point that my boyfriend got into fountain pens and actually did some research into them. He's such a smart cookie. A lot of my early pens, on the other hand, were kind of cheap, like this one I bought for a few bucks on AliExpress. I could not fathom spending a lot on a pen, especially when there was a ready supply of Pilot Neogels at work that would mysteriously end up in my purse and follow me home. No idea how that happened. This Ooly pen came from a book subscription box. I don't remember ever using it, and the ink has long since dried out. I kept stealing my boyfriend's Lamy Safari so often that he bought me my own. Is gifting me this pen one of his biggest regrets? Possibly. There was no way he could have foreseen the madness that he had unleashed. For some reason, the stupid nib keeps slipping off. Shortly after he gave that to me, I bought myself the Lamy All-Star in the color Pacific. You'll be pleased to know that I have long since gotten over any guilt I felt buying this so soon after receiving the Safari. Because I prefer the All-Star model, I also have it in lilac, which we got for our, I believe, 14-year anniversary, in addition to the Petrol All-Star. Then I have a Moonman in the M2 model. I do not believe they're called Moonman anymore, but I don't remember what they changed to. It's an eyedropper pen, and it came with a couple of nibs that you can switch out, but I've only ever used the stub nib. My boyfriend bought the Noodler's Ahab, and I liked it so much that I purchased a nib Creeper. I got it in the color Medieval Lapis? I don't know how to pronounce this word. Lapis. It's a piston fill with a flex nib, and I don't like it. The finial thing constantly needs tightening. It was finicky the last time I inked it up, and the colorway reminds me of a bowling ball. I also realized I don't like writing with skinny pens. I gave my boyfriend the TWSBI Precision for his birthday, and naturally I had to get something for myself, so I ended up picking out the Classic in turquoise. Unfortunately, they only had a bold nib left, so I don't use it very often, but every once in a while I'll fill it with an ink that's a bit on the dry side. Then I got the Wancai Mini by Moonman. It's another eyedropper. One of the reasons I don't use it very often is because the fine nib is way too scratchy, and I'd like to switch it out with a stub nib, but I can't get this stupid thing out. This is my first TWSBI Eco. I got it in pink with a fine nib. It's not my favorite to write with, but I do prefer it more than the black Eco, which I got in a medium nib. There's something about these two, I just don't love writing with them. Then I got the Creme with rose gold trim in a fine nib, which is by far my favorite out of all of them. It just writes so much smoother. Then I bought one in the Persian green color with a stub nib. And lastly, I have white with rose gold, and it is the one and only extra fine nib in my entire collection. Next is the Online Slope in Midnight Blue. It's kind of an odd name for a tealish pen. I can never get the stupid converter to stay put, so I never use this. This is a Diplomat Magnum. It was a pretty good workhorse pen, and I used it every day for a couple years in my 5-year Hobonichi until it flaked out on me, and now I can't get it to write. This is the Nemosine Singularity in Magenta. I think it just needs a good cleaning because I haven't been able to get it to write. This pen did make me realize that I don't like demonstrator pens that use cartridge converters. Unless it's a pretty converter, I don't like being able to see it. Then I picked up a Kaweco Frosted Sport in Blush Pitaya. It's cute, but I don't care for how light it is, and I definitely prefer the Brass Sport. Then we get to one of my favorite pens, the TWSBI Diamond 580 ALR. The only complaint I have about this pen is that it doesn't post, or I guess it does, but it looks silly. I have it in purple, Prussian blue, both of them with fine nibs, and iris, which has a medium nib and a totally different grip section. Because I like those so much, I picked up a TWSBI VAC Mini and have never really cared for it. I can't get this stupid thing to write. I believe this Noodler's Triple Tail is my biggest pen. It has a Music Flex nib, which puts a ton of ink down on the page, and I love using it with shimmers. It arrived with a broken O-ring, which has since been replaced, but I tend to be overly cautious using it. Having it leak everywhere in the cap will do that to you. I also don't like that this part doesn't screw on securely. If you twist it too far, it pops off again. Then I have another Moonman, this one in the T1 model. Right after buying it, I made the mistake of inking it up with a yellow ink I really didn't like. And since apparently it's impossible for me to just dump the ink out, I let it sit for months. So now the barrel is stained yellow. It wasn't until I was 3 years into this odyssey that I bought my first pen over $100, and a whole new world opened up to me. I got the Pineider Avatar UR in abalone green. The metal grip is not the most comfortable to write with for long writing sessions, but it sure is pretty. Inflation's a bitch, okay? I paid about $120 for it in 2020, but it's now going for like $200. And to be brutally honest, as much as I like it, I wouldn't buy it at the current price, especially since it's a steel nib. This is the Edison Collier in pearlized juniper. I love the engraving of Edison's logo on the nib. The only downsides are that it doesn't post, and it takes forever to get to the cartridge. This is another favorite of mine. It's the Visconti Rembrandt in pink. I believe we had to glue the metal part on the cap back after I squeezed it into a pen loop and it popped off. Other than that, I find it to be a relatively smooth, reliable writer. This is my favorite pen. It is the Leonardo Furore in Blue Galaxy, and it has a medium nib. My boyfriend surprised me with it on my birthday, and he got my name engraved on it. I had actually never even heard of the brand until then. And I loved it so much that a few years later, I picked up another one in the color Aqua Petra, which I got with rose gold trim and a fine nib. I did not deserve this next pen. It's the Pelikan Souveran M600 in violet white. It has a fine 14K gold nib, and I was only supposed to buy it once I had completed my novel, or published it, I can't remember. Whatever the case, I finally said screw it and bought it, and it's my most expensive pen. So naturally, not long after I got it, I did a stupid thing and stuck it into a vial of black ink, and it stained the barrel. Then I have the TWSBI Diamond Mini in white rose gold. I love, love, love this pen. For being a smaller size pen, it is really comfortable to write with. It is also stained, and a lovely viewer a while ago gave me the name of some sort of cleaner fluid, but I haven't picked up a bottle yet. This is the Visconti Van Gogh in Orchard and Blossom. There was a clear coating on the metal that flaked off, and now a bit of the rose gold on the nib is missing. It doesn't affect how it writes though, so I can live with it. The pictures on the website when I bought this made it seem like it was going to be a lot lighter, so I was a bit surprised when it arrived and it was so dark. But I still like it, it's different. Next we have my BENU Briolette in Luminous Orchid. I would probably use this more if it had a medium nib and posted. Why don't it post? The grip section is also a little uncomfortable. My fingers rest right on the edge of it. Then we have the Narwhal Original Plus in Lavender Tetra. I love the purple nib on this, and the cute little narwhal. This has the honor of being the first VAC pen I learned how to write with properly, because you have to unscrew the back portion so that the ink can actually get to the nib. My only gripe with this is that I wish the pattern had more of a swirl throughout and wasn't just a flat band of purple. Next, we have one of my favorite pens. This is the Pilot Custom 743 in Verdigris, which is a US exclusive. This is the second pen that I purchased that has a gold nib. It's a 14 karat in medium. It writes so smoothly. I love it. Then for my boyfriend's and my 15th anniversary, I chose the Pilot Vanishing Point in matte black. This one has an 18 karat gold nib, and I do prefer to use it with planning or jotting down notes rather than journaling. Next is my Esterbrook Estie in lilac with a techo nib. The techo nib is ground so that it has variations in the line width depending on how you hold it. Next is the Pilot Kakuno, or Kakuno. I like to think of this as my beater pen. I use it to test inks I mix up, and I'm not afraid to just chuck it in my purse, or at people's heads. It also writes really nicely. I bought this last year for my birthday. It is from the Zodiac Pen Company. It's in the model Taurus, and it's called Seafoam Abalone. And I got it because I'm an annoying, stubborn Taurus. Because I got it in a double broad nib, I don't use it super often. I'm considering buying another Jowo nib to swap it out with, or eventually having it ground and engraved by a nibmeister. But this was the first time purchasing from a small maker. Then I have the Platinum Preppy Wa. This is in the Maki Koi design. I did buy another Preppy during the Fountain Pen Day sale. Surprisingly, it was the only pen that I purchased, and I got it in the Goldfish design. Then we have the Nahvalur Nautilus in Turquoise Dream, which is an Atlas Stationers exclusive, and I picked it out for our 16th anniversary, which was earlier this year. It has a stub nib, and it is fabulous. Then I picked up the BENU Pixie in the color Aurora Gold. As you have probably noticed, this is not a typical color for me, at least half of it anyway, but I was really drawn to it for some reason. I just wish it posted more securely. Lastly is the Gravitas Bifrost, which was made in collaboration with Figboot on pens here on YouTube. I love that it's named after the Rainbow Bridge in Norse mythology, which connects the realm of the gods, called Asgard, to the mortal world, called Midgard. And then my most recent purchase, like I said, is the Platinum Preppy, and I'm still waiting impatiently for it. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I've been putting it off for a while because I wasn't sure how exactly I wanted to film it. I hope I did okay. We're good. We're good. Maybe. If you're interested in more fountain pen content, I hope you'll consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye! And now begins a new chapter. A whole new world. In typical Joey fashion, I have to hate something before I love it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's so cute.
It's so pretty.
It also needs a thorough cleaning there, Fong. Better get on that. My wonderful viewers on YouTube pointed out that I'm an idiot. I'm a slow learner, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. I'm waiting. I'm oddly shaped enough. I don't need my pens to be oddly shaped. Ah, youth. Lapis.